screaming loud under a blood-red sky. Roads twisting hard where the shadows lie. Grip the handle, feel the engines roar. Freedom ain't a dream, it's the open door. Ride the storm, feel the thunder break. Cut the change and let the earth quake. Born to run, born to never fold. Heart of fire, soul of untamed gold. Night's a beast, it devours the weak. Steel and fire, the language I speak. Dust in my lungs, wind in my face. Speed's my temple, this road's my grace. Ride the storm, feel the thunder break. Cut the change and let the earth quake. Born to run, born to never fold. Heart of fire, soul of untamed gold. Ain't no cage that can hold me down. No leash, no chains, no goddamn crown. I'm a rebel, yeah, my spirit's raw. The world can't touch what the wild man saw. Ride the storm, feel the thunder break. Cut the change and let the earth quake. Born to run, born to never fold. Heart of fire, soul of untamed gold.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Australian NASCAR Truck Series, the penultimate race before the championship next week. We head to Nashville Superspeedway, that and more. But before we get to that part, I'm going to go ahead and introduce my counterpart. That's going to be Wesley Outland. Wesley, how's it going out there tonight?
With the exception of my face feeling like I need to stick it in an air conditioner after working in the sun yesterday, I feel pretty good, man. Welcome to Nashville, everybody. We saw a phenomenal race in the Australian NASCAR X Series on Tuesday night. We also know that Dave Olgenzak won the championship. Now, if this man from Charleston, South Carolina can, run the table tonight, he's got a chance to sweep both the X Series and the trucks, something that Brad Newman did last year in the fall. The guy that's trying to stop him, believe it or not, is Brad Newman. What a race it's going to be. We're going to see what happens. We already know that we go to Atlanta next week for the X Series. The championship's already decided. Could we see the same fate in the Chase here tonight at Nashville? Should be an exciting one, buddy. I'm looking forward to it, as always, Dylan.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's definitely going to be a fun one here tonight. It's going to be a concrete track of Nashville Superspeedway. But our starting grid here tonight is going to have Kute Dow on the pole with Brad Newman on his outside in row number 1. Row number 2, starting on the inside, is going to be Logan Keys in the number 43 with Lachlan Capel in 4th position on his outside. Row number 3 on the inside is going to be Dave O in the number 311 with Scott Rankin on his outside in 6th position. Row number 4 with Zachary Sears and Stephen Massey. Both Nitro entries here tonight in row number 4. Row number 5, Giuseppe Maialo with Angus Lawford on his outside, rounding up your top 10.
There's your top 10. Moving on to row number 6, you've got Aaron Borg. Connor Nixon's ready to roll in the Logitech entry. Row number 12. Row 13 on the grid, Jamie Davis and Josh Mickelmore. What a quiet season for the inaugural series champion of Australian NASCAR, the X Series. Trent Lavelle, thank you, sir. Part of the CT Electrical program in AWR. Brad Wright to the outside as well. Row number 8. Row 9 on the grid here at Nashville. We'll find Jason Newman, brother of Brad, and Jason Holdsworth. Beautiful looking truck as well. Got his crayons ready to scatter on the track tonight. Stephen Banks, Jaden Green. That's your top 20.
Starting position number 21 is going to be Andy Barber in the number 194 with Ryan Barber for the Southern Stars Motorsports. Row number 12 with Ross Armour down on the inside with Gary Roman on his outside in 24th. 25th and 26th is going to be Keith Hackney in the number 6 with Jack White in the number 17 on his outside. Row number 14 is going to be Timo Blundell on the inside with Shane Bowen. Rounding out your top 28. Top 30 is going to be Chris Bleakley with Brian Blundell. Rounding out your top 30.
Next on the grid, to find Adam Gray, Aaron Dorman. Row number 16, real fast lineup. Going to find Nick Ryan, followed by David Law. The Project 36, man, they've really been improving in the last couple of months. Riley Curtis, Kelvin Clark will make up row number 18. 36 trucks on the grid. Australian NASCAR Truck Series presented by CT Electrical. Dylan, it's going to be a wild one, buddy. We'll give you the stage analysis here in a minute, but we're ready to come to green, brother.
Yeah, Kute Dell and Brad Newman going to lead the field back to the green flag here. We're going Music City Racing here tonight at Nashville Superspeedway. Green flag is out for the first time on the concrete oval. Kute Dell gets a really good jump on the field. That's going to set up the 43 and the 1 of Brad Newman side by side going into turns number 1 and 2. Kute Dell has a lot of clean air in front of him, doesn't want to get stuck in dirty air, as it is one thing to pass a lot of these trucks out here at Nashville Superspeedway. Track position is definitely going to be key here tonight, but you can see him now, Wesley, all of them fanning out 2, 3, even possibly 4 wide all the way around this over 1 mile racetrack.
Kute Dow getting a chance to lead some laps here on the opening go. Race round 5 tonight here at Nashville. The final race next week at Michigan. Don't forget also the final race with the champion already decided in the X Series will be at the old Atlanta Echo Park Speedway. There's your weather conditions. Beautiful night for racing. Field comes across the stripe. Working now lap number 2. Kute Dow leads them. Battle going on for 3rd and 4th. That is Lachlan Capel and Oljanzak, a matter of fact.
You can see there Davo up on the outside, not where he wants to be. He wants to be down on that inside, kind of wrapping that inside lane. But with the momentum that you get on that outside, you can kind of hold him off down on that inside, and that's what Davo's doing as of right now. He kind of wants to get single file, save those tires for when he really needs them, stages are definitely going to be key here tonight to see what Dave-O can do. He's trying to be like Bad Brad, getting the double win for the championship in the X Series and the trucks. He's got to be able to finish here tonight. He's got to win, get to some stage points. Had that difference between him and Brad Newman, but Brad Newman looking pretty strong here in this early going. The only two in the top 5 battling for the positions for the championship is going to be Brad Newman and Dave-O, currently sitting 3rd and 4th. Scott Rankin and Aaron Borg currently sitting 6th and 7th. So top 10 all have the top 4 points, all kind of right there, but it's all going to come down to who's got the long run of this race, and Dave-O gets a really good run off turns number 1 and 2, going to give a nice little shot to the back bumper of Brad Newman going into 3 and 4.
Gute Dow still holding on to the point. There goes Olgensback making a move back around Newman. These are the 2 drivers that are fighting for the championship. By calculation, Dave-O could possibly lock up the truck championship tonight as well. If he wins, obviously, Brad Newman is going to have to run the table, is what we were basically told from Nigel Dillon. Brad Newman's going to have to win the stages. He's going to have to win the race. He's going to have to do everything he can to stop Dave-O, to force a final game series break, if you will, like a game 7 for the championship at Michigan. Dave-O, all he's got to do is do like he's doing right now. He's right now moved to 3rd, got around Newman, and he's right now going after Kai. Caution, we got trouble. Truck spinning up ahead. Car losing it. That is going to be, of course, the 24, one of the Project 36 machines of Jaden Green. Yellow out here, Dylan, lap number 6 of the race.
Yeah, first caution of the night going to be on lap number 6 of this race as we get a CT electrical replay. Here, seeing what happens to Jaden Green. He's on the outside. He's got a truck on his inside. Going to see what ends up happening. Oh, gets a little bit of a tag from the 05 of the Barbers. A little bit of miscommunication on that one. Kind of turned in just a little bit too early. Wasn't ready for the 05 to turn in right then and there, but ended up smacking the rear end on that outside safer barrier. And not something that you really want to see towards the back. As we get another look here, going to see what ends up happening. Ryan Barber, you can see it there as we ride on board with the 05. He's down low. He's going to try to take a little bit of a wider arc. Want to get a little bit of a arc going into the corner, but the 24 had other plans, thinking he was going to turn down just a little bit more sooner than what he did, and ended up finding the number 24 on the outside wall.
I don't see any reason for anybody to come down to the pit lane here early right now. Looks like everybody just circulating around the racetrack behind the toe of the pace truck. Gute Dow right now been the man that's been able to lead a good amount of the race here. There's the 43 of Logan Kais. He's in 2nd. All right, here comes a couple of takers. Gary Wellman on pit road.
Yeah, I don't know if this is I'm not sure if it's kind of like a little bit of a strategy game on their part there, Mr. Wesley. Maybe filling it up with a little bit more fuel, kind of stretch it out as long as they possibly can, as we're looking at the stages as it sits right now. First caution on lap number 6, and then for 2 laps as it sits right now. But 35 laps for stage number 1, another 35 laps for stage 2. And then the final stage is going to be a total of 80 laps, the total distance, 150 laps for the race analysis here tonight. Everything's going to be a little bit different, though, Wes. I mean, we've already seen Dover and what that can produce with that being a concrete track. Now we're at a little bit of a bigger track. You got to make sure you save a little bit more tire, especially with it being concrete. It's going to be a tire-burning track all the way in and around, and everybody's kind of looking at the longevity of the race, going to see what kind of racing we get. Last week at Charlotte, absolutely phenomenal racing all the way in and through. We were, I guess we could say we were driving by the seams of our pants with all the passing that was being done at Charlotte, the 3 wide moves, wherever they could make them. I think maybe, Wesley, we should be able to see some 3 wide moves here tonight going into the corners or even coming off of the corners.
Last Thursday night, we were treated to a dandy, probably one of the best Australian NASCAR races, and I even said in probably my iRacing broadcast career, probably one of the top 5 best races we were treated to, no doubt about it. And right now, there's a look at the point standings. As we mentioned, Brad Newman's got to run the table. He's got to win the stages. He's got to win the race to force a possible, Game 7, if you will, like Stanley Cup standards. Dave Olgenzak, all he's got to do is just all Dave Olgenzak's got to do is just stay out in front, be competitive, win the race. And remember what happened to him Monday, Dylan, or Tuesday night, Dylan. He got involved in an accident in the X Series. He got in an accident, right? He bounced his way back through the field and still went on to win the race, to win the championship. A long way to go in this one here at Nashville. And right now, the field will be coming back to green with about green flag. 10 completed, back underway. Here they go. They're in the gas.
Kutadal with another strong jump on that inside lane. He's going to be able to get around Logan Kais. He's going to drop all the way back down to the inside lane. Dave Ho already putting the heat on the number 1 of Brad Newman. He's looking down to the inside. Brad Newman's got nowhere to go. He's going to be stuck behind the number 43. But here comes, it looks like Aaron Borg, as we have yet another caution out here at Nashville. You can see them all there scattering all the way around. And to see what happened going into turns number 3 and 4 as Kelvin Clark going around nice and slow.
So the caution out here, lap number 11, just as fast as we've been back to green. Coming up here, we got a replay for you. We'll try to show you what happened here. Yeah, we're not sure what took place. You know what? It could have been a called restart back, Dylan. It could have been that the race control themselves didn't like the restart, called it back.
Well, that is very possible. I have seen that happen before, especially in the short track series. The leader kind of jumps to start just a little bit too early. They're going to call the restart back, get everybody grouped back up, and go back racing once again. As we look at that beautiful number 8 machine of Jason Holdsworth as we're jumping on back to a replay. See exactly what happens over here. Connor Nixon on the outside. Gets turned. Scott Rankin nowhere to go. He's going to push him forward.
I've got it.
You know what? Not going to lie. At least he didn't hit a wall, and Scott Rankin kind of helped him get straightened out there. Not a lot of damage to both of those trucks.
There you go. If Dean can find it, he'll find it. He did. He found it. So, Dino, can you reset trading paints? I guess Mr. Barber is saying that you're. I got you. There you go. Now, Kais, Newman, Olgenzak, and Borg. Guys, there's rules to follow. If you've got a new wrap job, you're supposed to submit it to the series before the race. And if you don't, I guess that you don't get your wrap job showed. I don't know. That's right. 12 of 150 laps. So Kute Dow right now, the driver that leads the way in the 55. Nitro and Nitro up on the front row. Logan Kais right there. As a couple of yellow flags here in the opening 15 laps of this thing here, Dylan.
Yeah, fairly quickly with the yellow flags, but Wesley, once this race kind of gets under their own rhythm, these drivers are going to be able to give a barn burner of a race here at Nashville. They're going to spread out a little bit quicker than what you'll be able to see throughout the entire field. You're going to see who's going to be able to save their tires on the short run and have them for the long run. You're going to see the ones that kind of just bum rush their way to the front, and then towards the end of the long run, before pit stops end up happening, they're going to fall back through the field. So with the 2 early cautions, maybe it could set up for that recipe of, okay, cautions after cautions, go ahead, burn my stuff up as much as you want. But you always have that possibility of having that long green flag run. So it's kind of risk versus reward in that type of sense. Me personally, I just kind of just relax, let the race go the way that it needs to. Don't even put myself in a position where I could wreck myself or another fellow competitor, even possibly a playoff contention going for the championship, as Dave-O and Brad Newman still side by side, ready to come to the green flag.
We'll get ready to turn them back loose, ready to go back to racing. As it is Kute Dow.
Green.
Kute Dow down on the inside. He's going to lead Brad Newman down on the inside. He's going to be able to get clear. He's going to jump up to the top, all the way back down to the inside. But it's going to be Brad Newman going to be right there on his back bumper. Kute Dow not able to get the best jump that he got the other two restarts. Is now Dave-O stuck behind Aaron Borg and Logan Kais, as he's going to run a little bit of a higher angle into the corners in 3 and 4. And now we got a battle for the race lead. Brad Newman trying to put the pressure on Kute Dow. Going to see what he can do. He wants to get some stage wins here tonight to put the challenge to Dave-O to take that championship away. But it's all going to come down to if he can get clear and stay in that clean air as he finally gets around Kute Dow. New race leader, Brad Newman, to the point, possibly 3 wide if Dave-O can get there to the back bumper of Kute Dow.
Here they come up 4 bank defenders. And there goes Dave Oldensack 3 wide inside, and Kute Dow up high up against the safer barrier. Brad Newman right up the middle. Oh, Dave-O Newman for the championship, for the race, for the lead in turn 2.
Yeah, there's going to be the drivers that you want to pay attention to. It's going to be the 311 and the 1, as Kute Dow getting into the fence multiple times towards the back. But here comes Stephen Massey and the number 15 trying to make his name known here in that red, white, and blue Ford F-150. He's looking down to the inside of Kute Dow as it sits right now. He wants to put his name in the hat, not running for points or the championship. Just wants to say, hey, you know what? I can hang with all these big juggernauts of the series. And he's trying to make his name known, as he's not able to get around Kute Dow just yet. He's got to eye up that run one more time, as he's got Aaron Borg hot on his heels, trying to get around him, trying to put himself in position to try to get a stage win as well.
Newman now to the lead, up in front. Dave Oldensack, those are your drivers that are fighting for the championship, as well as on track for the win. Kute Dow, who led most of this race now, pulls back, heading to lap number 20. And now Newman trying to do what he needs to do. He knows what's against him. And what's against him, it's right on his back tailgate as they work to 3 and 4.
Yeah, you can tell there, Dave-O running just a little bit of a different line, keeping that left front nose in a clean air. He doesn't want to get that dirty air and push him up towards the outside wall. These trucks really do not like dirty air. You can see it there. He had to really back up his corner through turns number 1 and 2. He's going to lose a little bit of time to Brad Newman. But the more you stay tucked up behind another driver going into a corner, you're going to push so tight up to the outside wall where either you'll knock it down or you have to get out of the throttle so much that you're going to lose a lot of positions. Is going through the field, Wesley. We're 2-3 wide all the way through this place, and never going to fail, giving us the excitement all the way in and through the field, as Kute Dow has kind of found the sluggish button. He's starting to lose a little bit more positions than what he thought he was going to lose.
15 to go in stage number 1 here at Nashville. Brad Newman, Dave-O, Stephen Massey. By the way, that's a couple of Chevrolets, Toyotas, Fords. You don't get down to 12th until you find a Ram in the bunch, but Keith Hackney, the Georgia boy. And right now, under 15 to go. Battle for the lead. Here comes Dave-O. He'll power alongside Newman as they go to the back stretch here in Nashville.
Yeah, look at them all go. Dave-O was side by side with Brad Newman. Not able to get that pass done. And this is one of those tracks where you really got to have momentum on your side. But Brad Newman knows that. He's going to keep it to the outside and make Dave-O work for that stage win. But There's a lot of stuff in Brad Newman's favor. He's got the clean air. He's got the preferred line where he needs to go. He knows that Dave-O's going to try to go down to the inside. He wants to protect his right rear quarter panel from Dave-O, make him use that inside lane if he wants to get around him. Brad Newman, no stranger to making it difficult for other drivers. Finally capitalized on his first win of the season last week, Wesley.
Yep.
There at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and trying to make it back-to-back here at Nashville.
Yeah, trying to do that again, as you mentioned, as they come across that stripe now. 12 remaining. 12 laps to go. Brad Newman back out in front, but Dave-O right there on him. If any slip happens, he will capitalize. But for right now, it is the one in P1 looking to try to make a battle to chase for the championship and be number one. Right now, Logan Kai goes around Lachlan Capel. That goes on as they work into turn one.
Yeah, you can see there, Logan Kai is running a little bit of a higher lane than Lachlan Capel. Lachlan down on the inside. Here comes Scott Rankin. He's going to be able to get around Zachary Sears as he sits currently in 7th position, and now Zach pushes back to 8th. Scott Rankin nowhere to go. He's got 2 wide trucks in front of him. He doesn't want to put himself in a position to make it 3 wide. He's going to push to the outside of Lachlan as another battle for the race lead. Dave-O looking down to the inside once again. Can he get it to stick? Can he get door to door? No. Brad Newman's going to have the run coming off of the corner, and Dave-O is going to have to kind of settle as of right now, but he's not going to be able to get clear of Dave-O. Dave-O kind of shifts it down into turns number 3 and 4. Once again, going to be door to door. Coming off of turns number 3 and 4, where does Stephen Massey go? What does he do? Does he want a stage win? This is going to be very interesting coming down to 9 laps to go here at stage number 1.
Single digits now. Side by side. There goes Dave-O. He'll get the shot on the bottom. He's got friends with the M&M throwback Kyle Busch colors of the 97 of Stephen Massey, by the way. Open the door to Aaron Borg. Aaron Borg will now contend. He'll pull to the inside. They're side by side. Newman gets the jump. He'll pull away. 8 to go at the stripe.
8 laps to go. Aaron Borg really sent it down on the inside, giving Stephen Massey not his line that he wanted to have, but with Stephen being on that outside, that's where the momentum's at. And look at that. He's going to be able to clear Aaron Borg one more time. Off of turns number 1 and 2, Logan Kai's trying to do anything he can to get around Aaron Borg, with Scott Rankin sitting right behind him, kind of waiting to pounce and take over that position. He's going to be side by side with the number 80 of Lachlan Capel. He's going to be able to get clear now. Here comes the 342. He's going to try to make it 3 wide. Coming through turns number 1 and 2, they're going to be 3 wide off of the corner. Could be kind of detrimental, but a lot of people giving him enough room. And there he is, Mr. Georgia boy himself, Keith Hackney, getting a front row seat to all of this in front of him.
And look at Angus Lawford, by the way, the 52 up on the high side. What a climb. And the caution's going to come out before the end of stage number 1. Yellow away. We got trouble on the racetrack.
Ooh, that's definitely going to be something to pay attention to, as everybody getting back to where they need to go as we get a nice little CT electrical replay.
Whoever's in the 30th spot was the vehicle that's off the pace. That is the driver of Ross Armour in the 2. And there it is, another piece of it as well. Brad Wright, Stephen Banks get together. I think Ross Armour got a piece of it also. My scoring telemetry was showing the 2. There he is. Okay, that's Ross Armour going by. Very, very slow. That's because he had called up to the accident there, Dylan. Knocked it out 3rd time.
Yeah, nice to see that, they were able to get the truck slowed down as quickly as they can. But with it being Nashville, Wesley, it's kind of like a self-cleaning racetrack, especially in the corners. He was able to keep it off of the racing surface, getting it down to the inside and not coming back up in front of traffic, but pit stops underway here tonight. Not sure if that was the end of the first stage or if they're going to be able to go back green before the end of stage number 1, but everybody in to take tires this time by Brad Newman enters in first position. He's going to be able to see if he can beat Davo out, and he's going to be able to do that. So, no changes on the leaderboard as of yet.
There's a look at last pit stop info as there's Brad Newman. He just took 4 tires. And there's a strategy there, right? I mean, there's a strategy. You're coming down pit road. You're going to try to jump out ahead of everybody under 5 remaining. I think this race will go back. I mean, I'm thinking we're going to go back to green before we complete the stage. There's still what, less than 5 remaining, 4 to go at the line. They'll probably get about 2 laps before the end of the stage. So,
yeah, I mean, it's given the SVG a road course type of racing here. You know, flipping the stages, go ahead, pit, get your fuel and tires before the end of the stage, and then you know you're good to go. You don't have to worry about going back into pit lane at the end of the stage. You can stay out, get the track position, and then at the end of stage number 2, you go back in, get more tires, more fuel, and then set yourself up for the third and final stage. And that's where it's really going to get spicy and dicey, especially with the green flag pit stops going to be coming into play on a stage at number 3 with 80 laps being the total distance. As is going to be Brad Newman, Davo with the race lead in P2. And it's all going to come down to the restarts. Can Brad Newman do what Kute Dow was doing and get clear of Davo, kind of pull away, give himself a little bit of a buffer going into the corners where he doesn't have to worry about overdriving the car just a little bit too much, especially with it only being 2 laps before they go back to caution flag for the end of the stage. You kind of want to be in conservative mode for these 2 laps. You don't want to run it balls to the wall. The more you do that, the less tire wear you're going to have towards the end of stage number 2. But cautions breed a caution. We had a nice little green flag run there, but still a long way to go before the end of this 150 lap race.
and remember, as we mentioned, coming back to green, they're coming back to the line. Green flag back out. There is, let's see here, about 3 laps to go in stage number 1. So, all right, so here we come. Newman in front. This is after they make pit stops as well. Keep an eye on Davo. Bypasses. Oh, we got a crash, guys. Trouble in the back.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh, Zachary Sears and others. Jason Newman gets involved. Angus Lawford collected. A multi-truck crash on the restart. Finally, SDK wants to unveil who the hell they are. About time. Caution out here on lap number 33 with 2 remaining. And I got a feeling this stage will end now with these trucks coming under caution, Dylan.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, with them going into turns number 1 and 2, I'm not sure if there's rain on the track, like virtual rain on the track there, Wesley, because, I mean, when I was looking at 97 of Stephen Massey and Dave O, they were extremely loose coming off of the corner as well, so not sure if maybe it was a new tire being on those trucks and they just kind of forgot the cold tire method or whatever the case may be, but you can just see there everybody's sideways wherever they can be. Angus Lawford nowhere to go, tried checking up, didn't want to put him 3 wide. He ended up getting involved. Jason getting involved, Shane Bowen, and then able to get off the racing surface. Everybody else checking up to get out of the way and not running over everybody else. As you get another look from the Nitro on board of Zach Sears. He's going to come down, tag a couple of cars. Josh Becklemore taking evasive action, going through the grass. So, Nashville, make sure you pay that man for mowing your grass here on Thursday night.
Another look at it again. Whoa, contact. Look at Josh Becklemore, man, just plowing the road. Avoiding all of that. And we're still under caution, and this will end the stage. So Brad Newman will be credited as the stage 1 winner. My goodness, Dylan, this is exactly what Brad Newman and the 1 had to do. They will end the stage here. So Brad Newman, there's your stage 1 winner for Lob Z Sports.
Yeah, with Brad Newman getting that win last week, the momentum's running high on that number one Alobs esports machine. So he wants to kind of continue that momentum. He got the stage one win. He's just checking them off, right? Every racer knows you got a little bit of a checklist. You want to check them off as much as you possibly can. And with that stage win for Brad Newman, he's going to cut into those points as much as he possibly can. He's got max points as it sits right now with the stage result that he needed. Obviously, not able to qualify on the pole, but leading the laps and getting the stage win. You can see it there, 41 points behind Dave O. Scott Rankin is 69, 92 for Angus Lawford, and rounding out your top five is going to be Josh Micklemore with 118 points behind Dave O. So anything can happen. I think mathematically, Angus Lawford, Scott Rankin, and Josh Micklemore are all out for the championship win here after Nashville. But anything can happen. A win could really solidify your season. It may be a little bit too late, but you never want to stop trying to get those race wins.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Lights off of the pace truck. We are going to go right back to green as they move into stage number 2, just a lap shy. So Brad Newman, Dave Oljanczak, 1 and 2. Would you have it any other way? Those are your drivers on the racetrack in P1 and 2, and for the championship in P1 and 2. There's Massey, by the way. Scoring shows him in a 15. He's actually in the M&M's. Kyle Busch throwback 97 in third. Aaron Borg on the outside for Sim Motion. And Mr. Scott Rankin, top 5. Pace truck is in here at Nashville. Back inside the restart zone. That is the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. Green flag back out. This is stage 2, and Newman is gone.
Yeah, Dave O got caught sleeping on that restart. He's going to lose second position to Stephen Massey. He's going to go down to the inside. A little bit more cleaner of a start going through turns number 3 and 4. Everybody able to get those tire temps up to where they needed to go. But still side by side for a lot of these drivers towards the back. A couple of 3-wide moves, but not a lot of people wanting to take the chance of putting himself 3-wide as Miss Piggy on the front bonnet of that number 6 of Keith Hackney, and then there he is. You got Kermit with Wesley on the back with that number 6 Dodge Ram entry of Keith Hackney as we get a nice little look of Wesley and Kermit the Frog on the rear deck lid by the tunnel vision.
I told Kermit to leave Miss Piggy alone. It was my girl. Sometimes you gotta fight for your right. Keith Hackney, just think, guys, the biggest success Keith Hackney's had has been driving a truck with my name on it as the sponsor, okay, with my face on it. Maybe that'll. Whoa, look out! Oh, the 22 blew clear around, and they're still crashing. Trent Lavelle collected. David Lawler involved. Caution out. Notice that my truck, Keith Hackney, didn't get collected. There you go.
As we get a CT electrical replay. We've seen the 3-wide coming off turns number 1 and 2, Wesley. We're going to see it here. Oh, just not enough room. Bleakley not. I don't think Bleakley knew that they were 3-wide, so he just kept coming up just a little bit. And then, yeah, just ended up catching a couple of trucks where you don't want to do. That is man, Project 36, getting involved in this wreck here. Developer through the middle. Oh, Riley Curtis. Riley Curtis squeezed through. He may have gotten a little bit of a touch, but able to get through Trent Lavelle, CT Electrical Bathurst. He's going to be involved as we get a nice little ride on board with the Lightning. Go, Grease Lightning. He slows down for the wreck. I can give him that. It's just he was already committed to that inside there. Wesley just kind of flipped around on him, and they went down where he was.
another look at it again. Watch this. I'm more with Jason Newman. He's watching all this going on in front of him. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, got a little piece of it. Got a little piece of front valence damage, but not much. He's going to be all right.
Oh, yeah. It's actually pretty crazy, Wesley. You know, with me doing the whole sim racing thing and being down there in the truck during the weeks, I guarantee you that little bit of damage, possibly, that Jason Newman got, I could see it being 2 to 3 minutes worth of optional repairs. The damage model on the trucks is so wonky, especially this week at Michigan that I've been doing. I barely hit the wall with the right side. It took the toe out of the right side of the truck. So the damage model on these trucks, not the greatest, but it's all repairable. And then you get back out there, you're back up to full song. You can hang with the leaders, but definitely not what you want to see this early into this race.
Wrench Wranglers right there. How much time it took for some of these guys to make repairs. Jaden Green the most. Wrench Wranglers like, well, Gary Wellman now. Wrench there. We're way up top, guys. There you are. Look at in the bright lights. Bright lights, big city. You can't see us. The windows are tinted. Yeah. We got the Blues Brothers look with me and Nigel on Tuesday. What do we look like? What do we look like? Yeah, there you go. Finally, real pictures, not Skynet.
As we were able to see where me and Wesley were sitting at up there on the broadcast booth, but now it's going to be down to Brad and Newman. No.
You can see me. Boy, I'm telling you, I showed Dean a picture of that. You can unveil it to the Aussies if you want. Give them a laugh. Give them a laugh. The race gets boring, you can give them a laugh. They were like, what the hell is that? Look like some chicken legs, man. Look like some chicken legs.
You want some chicken salt for your chicken legs?
Dylan, I ain't got no sun, so my face has got sun after yesterday. I called a broadcast on the radio outside in the because the press box was too small. And I'll just tell you this: I got red from the top down, but not mine. I wore shorts, and my pink white legs did not get any sun whatsoever. And I just don't feel good about myself. I have like a farmer's tan without the farmer, right? You know.
Hey, look, I'm a golfer. I know all about the farmer's tan going on.
I try to tell people all the time I don't normally wear shorts. I normally wear pants all the time. I'm a pants wearer. It could be 110 degrees outside and I'm wearing pants. Look at this move go on. Oh, we're getting nasty. Hang on. Oh, and by the way, Pete Tactics has moved up to third.
He's like, come on, Miss Piggy. I got you. We're going to the promised land.
Give me all you got.
Aaron Bohr on his outside.
Don't let me pull you. Don't let me pull your ears. Give me all you got.
Oh, he's kicking Kermit the Frog.
Hell yeah. I told you he wouldn't leave Miss Piggy alone.
He's opened up that can, you know? What ya? He's going to be able to get clear. Gets clear of Aaron Borg, now Logan Kai.
And then notice, I'm doing some karate on his ass on Kermit. He's getting bent. He's getting bent. Oh, boy.
If we had an award for the best paint schemes throughout the season, Keith Hackney would win every single one of them.
I mean, Wesley built champions. He's got his crayons out there for a reason. We know the story. We do know the story, Dylan. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah, we were courteous enough to get the backstory on the crayons. As Dave O able to get around Stephen Massey, he's back up to P number 2. These top two, though, Wesley, have pulled away from the rest of the field, and now you got the 08 down on the inside of Josh Micklemore. Jason Holdsworth all over the back bumper of Micklemore as well. One is battling for the points. The other two are not. Micklemore on the outside, the odd one out, battling for the points. He's trying to get clear of the 08 of Lachlan Capel. Not able to do so just this time. He's going to get a little bit tight. He's going to push up to the outside wall. And finally is clear going into turns number 3 and 4.
Jason Holdsworth, there he is in the number 8 machine. Got those crayons on the Nitro number 8 machine. By the way, Mr. 200. I know he doesn't like me bragging about it, but he did make his 200 start the last week. So there's your Nitro Racing drivers and where they are. Dave Owen second, Keith Hackney third, Josh Micklemore 9th. Holdsworth right there, you're watching in 10th. Zachary Sears 18th, and Riley Curtis all the way back in 25th. There's your Nitro driver.
As you see there, everybody is now back to single file in the top 10 as it sits right now. Jason Holdsworth finally getting around them and can kind of settle in just for a little bit, but the racing is going to get a little bit more antsier as the end of the stage number 2 is going to be winding down. Everybody's going to be spreading out as much as they possibly can. Who's been saving their tires? Oh, big shot to the back of Aaron Borg. Aaron Borg.
Marbles.
Yeah, you want to talk about a save? That's a dude wipe save of the race right there. He's got to get those tires warm or cooled back down before he can really go full song, as getting ready to get passed by Josh Micklemore, but able to get back around him. He's going to be able to save it, but knowing Aaron Borg, he's like, you know what? Save that for the memory bank. What comes around goes around, as Keith Hackney still sits in front of Logan Kais in that 3rd position. Going to try to run down Davo and Brad Newman and see if he can't lead himself some laps here tonight. He came in as a points leader going into the going into the playoffs here, Wesley. He's missed a few races, knocked himself out of contention, and now he's just out here for a couple of bragging rights, I guess you could say, trying to get some more race wins added on to his season total.
Got Rankin down on the inside. The 59 battles alongside the 43. Look at that. On the bottom, up top. How about he cares? Hackney. Ties, by the way. Logan Ties, Rankin on his inside. There goes for that spot. We're in stage number 2. And by the way, 3 drivers for the championship chase are in the top 3. 4 are in the top 5. 5 are in the top 10. And Newman, Dylan and Newman, Brad Newman is doing exactly what he needs to do. He is being a Babe Ruth on the penultimate game of the season, calling his shot, saying, I got to do this to beat Dave-O, to keep my chance at the championship alive and go back to back. Because remember, he was the champion last year in season 2, and right now he is doing exactly what he needs to do. He's in the lead, he's leading the most laps, he's winning stages, and we're closing in on 15 remaining in stage 2 as well.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a sight to see if Brad Newman can get it buckled down to where he needs to have it. But the biggest battle on track is going to be the 343 and the number 59, Scott Rankin down on the inside. He gave Logan Kais a little bit of a shot at going into turns number 1 and 2. He's been side by side with the 343 for 2 laps now. Not able to get the run off of the corner and get around Logan, but now Stephen Massey sitting behind Scott Rankin loose, coming off the corner, and there we go. Stephen Massey using that looseness to his advantage. Gets to his outside. He's going to be able to get clear of him And now you got Connor Nixon all over the back bumper, Scott Lincoln.
I'm not a crook. I'm not a crook.
As so far, Scott Rankin still losing a little bit of track position, but able to rear it back on in. Going to look to the outside of Stephen Massey, get that clean air, get back around him, get those valuable points back that he needs. But here comes Stephen Massey now down to the inside of Logan Kais. He's going to try to make quick work of this. Two Nitro drivers going back to back, and here we go. 3 wide into turns number 3 and 4.
Yeah, there you go, Massey. Hold on to that spot. 97 for Nitro, up the middle, excuse me, clear path. Gets around Rankin and there's Kais, Logan Kais. By the way, Kais being showed as the 343, and it is a 343, Dylan. Look at that small ass little number 3 on the bottom of the he followed the rules. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. He at least followed the rules, unlike Massey. Massey's got a Kyle Busch throwback truck, but he's got time and scoring his number 15, but he's in 97. We'll allow it because it's Kyle Busch throwback. It's homage to Kyle Busch stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it irks me whenever the numbers don't match the scoring ticker. And I bet you our audience too. Because they're like, what the hell is this? What's going on?
As we look on board, the gap between the race leader and second position slowly getting bigger and bigger, but Dave-O not able to get to the back bumper of Brad Newman. Brad Newman currently running more or faster lap times than Dave-O as it sits right now. Just 1 lap is faster than Brad Newman. But, I mean, it's just the longevity run of the race. 9 laps to go in stage number 2. I think right now, Wesley, I think Dave-O's thinking bigger picture. You know, come to Michigan next week, see what really happens. And, let Brad Newman get these stage wins. You may never know. Put in a pit road adjustment under this final stage and to see what your truck can really do. But these two drivers in the top 2 are on the same setups as they go across the line with 8 laps to go.
That's right. By the way, under 10 remaining in stage number 2. Newman in front. What a run, man. Brad Newman. He knows what he's got to do. And that's exactly what he needs to do. You want to contend for the championship? You want to be the guy at the top of the mountain? He's been there before. To be the man, you got to beat the man.
Yeah, try to do exactly what he needs to do. And right now, Brad Newman showing them what is up, wants to dominate, come in here, show them who's boss, show them like, hey, you know what? I may have not won all season long, didn't get my first win till the third to final race in the playoffs, but this is why I'm a champion. This is why I'm super consistent where I need to be. He's showing us stuff here this early in the early going of the race here in Nashville, and shows no signs of stopping as it sits right now. Is all over the back bumper goes Jason Holdsworth, trying to find a way around the number 40. Is that number 40? But not able to get there.
It's the 40. I'm not a crook. I'm not a crook. That is Nixon, by the way. And that number 40 lost the tech entry. Look at Holdsworth on him. Holdsworth right on his back door. 5 remaining. Now Rankin, Scott Rankin inside for the 43. That is Logan Keyes, by the way, for that spot.
Yeah, so Scott Rankin really needs to get around Logan Keyes, but Logan Keyes not making it easy for Scott Rankin. And with everybody still being on the lead lap, they're just not they're not going to just move over for a lot of these drivers as we get on board with Keith Hackney. He has caught the number 311 of Dave-O. He says Miss Piggy wants to come and play, as he's going to be right on the back bumper of Dave-O. These three right here, though, Wesley, I mean, if you give them all fresh tires again, I think these three are going to do the exact same thing, kind of pull away and do exactly what they're doing here for stage number 3.
Three to go. 2 to go now. Very clean stage number 2, by the way, Dylan McDonald. It's a very fast stage. Nice stage. Everything perfect. They're coming to the line. We'll be working lap number 70 when this stage ends. That'll be 80 laps to go in this race for 150 laps. And it's already nighttime here. Coming to the line. 1 to go. Newman. Clear a path, Bleakley. Get out of the way.
Oh, Brad Newman giving a little bit of a shot to the number 22. Not a smart move by the number 22 of Chris Bleakley. He should have got out of the way there. He was a little bit indecisive on where he wanted Brad Newman to go, so Brad Newman gave him a little bit of a bump, then he went down to the inside. And then after a little bit of a move, he went down to the inside. And then a little bit of a side draft for the number 22. So playing a little bit of games there. Wants to stay on the lead lap. Not able to do so. But that's going to be the end of stage number 2. Brad Newman came in with an objective on his top. Wanted to get it done. He got the first 2 stages done. Now it's all about this last 80 lap run to the finish. And see if Brad Newman can put together a clean sweep of both stages and a race win. Yeah, we only had one caution to start stage number 2, and then we ended up ending it out with a long green flag run. So pace truck finally coming on out, getting these drivers back in line. I'm going to let them go down to the pit lane, get some Sunoco race feel for fresh Goodyear tires, and to see exactly what stage 3 has to offer.
So Brad Newman will lock up the stage again. Insult to injury. Dave Olgenzak right behind him. Now, let me say this. That is in favor of Dave-O, Dylan. And let me explain on that a little bit more, elaborate more. He's getting 9 points. Now, even though Brad Newman is getting the maximum of 10 points for winning the stage, Dave-O is still getting 9 points. So it is basically 2 points more than what Dave-O's getting Brad Newman is, right? So so if there is any type of silver lining, if you will, it's the fact that Dave-O is hanging with Brad Newman and he's not letting, per se, the points chase happen to him. He's still within contention.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dave-O doing exactly what he needs to do. Getting second place in both stages. Granted, it's only 9 points. It's not the full 10. So you're still in contention of where you need to be, but he wants to get those stage wins as much as he possibly can as we're 3 wide coming off of pit road for the battle to stay in P number 2. But this is where you put all your time and money into, is going to be this long green flag run with a green flag pit stop. Driver's going to be able to go at least 39 to 42 laps on a take of fuel, so one stop to make it to the end. They have at least 1 to 2 more sets of tires to use. No fast repairs, open setups. Once they do make this last pit stop, that's where we're going to see the pit road adjustments, the springs, the offsets, the perches. Going to be set to a standard that kind of trims you out, kind of like qualifying. Going to make the truck just a little bit more quicker than what you do, but you never want to do it on the long run. It's normally, give or take, 20 to 30 lap run. You kind of want to throw those adjustments in, just that way once you get down to that 30 lap run, those tires are going away more than what you anticipated. You're not battling the truck as much as you want to be battling it with looseness going all the way around this track.
Oh, and by the way, I believe stage 2, very quiet stage. Things were calm, cool. As Manny Man at Bar said, you know, it was a great stage. It was a quiet stage, no wrecks, maybe one spin, I think that was it at the start. But yeah, let's see what happens here now, because I think the fireworks are certainly going to. There's your Toyota Tundra drivers. There's your Project 36 drivers. And it's the law offices of Jamie Davis, Angus Lawford, and David Lawler. So Davis, Lawford, Lawler. Davis, Lawford, Lawler. 12th, 16th, 33rd. David Lawler, buddy, got to get up there, man. Come on, David. Don't get to brag about you that much. And we are going back to green.
Green flag,
Newman,
green flag.
my truck. Come on, Keith. Get in there and spoil the party.
Yeah, he's going to be side by side with Dave O going into turns number 1 and 2. Brad Newman getting a really good jump down that inside. He's going to be able to have that clean air. And Keith Hackney really loose coming off turns number 1 and 2. He's going to keep it up on the outside wall. He's going to have some damage on that right side truck. He's going to be high, wide, and handsome once again. I wonder if he broke the toe on the number 6 machine. As more looseness coming around this racetrack.
Hackney, be nice. Newman back in front. What do you know?
So,
who's your pick to win the final stage? Obviously, our audience out there, quiet race. By the way, here's your race analysis so far. Bottom right of the monitor. Check it out. You'll see it. Race recap. There it is. Stick caution. And it's, as I mentioned, Dylan, there was that one little caution right there at the start of stage number 2, and then it went green all the way to the end.
yeah, it was absolutely phenomenal racing. Everybody was calm and patient with each other. They spread out quicker than what I anticipated them to spread out, but there were still good battles all the way through the race. There was a lot more battles throughout the race than I anticipated as well, you know, especially with the long green flag run, with the caution right there towards the beginning of the stage. But once everybody kind of found the rhythm, there was more give and take going all the way around as Connor Nixon trying to find the outside wall around Logan Kai's not able to get back around him, but this is where it's going to go. Who's going to be able to get up through this traffic and battle Brad Newman for that race lead and possibly the race win? It's one thing to catch people out here, Wesley. It's definitely another thing to try to pass them, because Nashville Superspeedway is not a track that is known for great passing abilities. It's one of those tracks where track position is definitely going to be key throughout the entire night.
Angus Lawford now maybe starting to show his strengths, climbing through the fifth to the top 10. He's in the conga line, if you will, single file, nose to tail. as Newman pokes out in front, as you see, over Davo. 0.3 of a second. There goes Lawford, by the way, about 2 seconds back. So that's the interval between those guys. And look who's poking right behind them, Micklemore as well. Sears, Davis, Barber, all in the hunt. 70 to go after halfway here at Nashville. This is the longest stage of the race, by the way.
And everybody kind of getting into their rhythm, kind of want to see if they can save fuel in more tires to make those tires last the 39 to 41 laps of the first stint of this final stage. And you can see just a little bit of the looseness still playing a little bit of a factor for a lot of these drivers out here at Nashville Superspeedway. And Wesley, I don't know if you can answer me this or not. Is this race track doesn't race like a super speedway per se, but is it because they have the Nashville Fairgrounds that they had to change the name just a little bit over to Nashville Superspeedway? Or
So here's the deal. The Fairground Speedway has always been called the short track, the Nashville Fairground Speedway. The powers that be, when they built this racetrack, and this is even before SMI took it over and renamed it Nashville Superspeedway, it's always been called the Superspeedway of Nashville because 5/8 of a mile is the Fairgrounds track. This track is 1.5 miles, and it is a true concrete 1.5 miles as well. That's another thing I don't think we've even talked about, much less we've even hit it ourselves, is that this track is a true 1.5 mile concrete racetrack. Okay, there's some surfaces in racing on NASCAR where there's some concrete, but there's pavement. This track itself is entirely a 1.5 mile super speedway. What does that do to handling? What does that do to tires? What does that do to strategy? It is interesting to see how all that follows up as Davo sized it up Newman, and it is Massey looking on. So yeah, the name Super Speedway is because it's bigger than the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.
Oh, well, now I got my education for Nashville and Nashville Superspeedway. Both tracks, by the way, absolutely fun to race at.
Yes,
absolutely a pleasure to race. We got a battle for the race lead once again. Davo down to the inside, and look at the side pull from Brad Newman. He's going to be able to power around on that outside. I think Davo's got to get to his outside and pinch Brad Newman down, but Brad is playing that good defense. He knows what Davo's going to do. He's going to keep that truck on the outside if he needs to make a pass, but Davo is not going to give up that easily. He's going to look down to the inside once again.
Oh, and by the way, don't forget the championship races or the final races for season number 1 in the 2026 season are next week. That will be decided at Echo Park, Old Atlanta for the X Series. Davo already the champion, and somebody in the chat, Trevor Micklemore, said he thought Davo was playing possum. He was hanging back. It's time to pounce. Davo knows it. To the inside, Newman there. They're door to door. Massey watches on. He'll push the Nitro entry teammate in the 3.
Davo's definitely putting up a bigger fight than what he did in stage 1 and 2, but just like you said, it's go time now. Don't put yourself in a position where you can wreck yourself and Brad Newman and ruin both of the races, but Stephen Nassy giving Davo just the slightest little bit of pushing down the front stretch and back stretch. They're going to be side by side coming off turns number 1 and 2. Stephen Nassy going to be right behind Davo, not going to be able to give him the push that he needs, and now going to sail it back down into turns number 3 and 4, still going to be side by side.
Newman up top. Here comes Newman. Now look at this guy on the bottom. Davo falling back. And open the door for Massey. Now he's going to get a little greedy. He wants to lead now. And Davo pushing. Really pushing. Oh my God, they're wrecking. Oh! Davo on the wall. Davo off the safer barrier. Shades of what happened to him in the X Series race here on Tuesday night. Not out, not crashed, but he is damaged. How much damage is on the 311, Dylan? It's 60 to go.
Yeah, definitely not what Davo wanted to see with that little bit of damage from Scott Rankin. A little bit of looseness from the 311, ended up putting himself in the outside wall, but what a run from the 97 down on the inside. He's going to try to make a move on Brad Newman. Brad Newman dives it in there on the outside. He's going to pinch him down off a center exit. And here comes Davo. Don't count him out. He may have that damage. He's right there on the back bumper of Stephen Nasse.
Making that spot. Going for him. Here comes now Nasse inside. As Newman will go up top. Side by side for that spot. Door to door. Davo watches on.
Stephen Nasse's doing everything he can to kind of keep them side by side with each other. He wants to get around Brad Newman, make him burn up his stuff as quickly as he can, but it's not doing it as of right now. But if you watch Wesley, he kind of backs up his corner 1 and 2. He gets a really good launch off of the corner, gets himself side by side with Brad Newman all the way down. He might be able to get clear, possibly off of turns number 1 and 2. He's not going to be able to do it, but here comes Davo. He's going to give Stephen Nasse a push. Or Stephen Nasse, not Nasse.
Watch this move now inside. Here comes now Brad Newman. Just opens the door and now gets everybody nose to tail behind the championship drivers. Massey now the leader. Newman peels out of line. He'll pop to the bottom. He got a little bump there. Davo backed away. Nitro and Lobs working with each other there for just a moment. And Davo does reset. Logan Guy just followed by Nixon. Look at Nixon to the 343 and the 40. Rankin, Borg, Mickelmore. What a climb for Mickelmore. And Lawford as well. 3 wide. Here comes Nixon. Will he go in the middle? No.
Yeah, this is definitely some tight racing towards the middle part of top 5 territory. Everybody battling for position. Scott Rankin back to the outside. Going to try to get around Aaron Borg as it sits right now. Not able to do so, but here we go. Davo back down to the inside once again on Brad Newman. Championship battle coming to an end here at Nashville Superspeedway. The top 2 in points side by side going through turns number 1 and 2.
We are in the virtual music city, Nashville. They're actually Lebanon. As they work their way back across the stripe again, another lap on the board. This is Highline HQ coverage, broadcasting. And this is the Australian NASCAR Truck Series. Massey in the lead. Newman's right there. Now look at Davo. I think Davo backed away, Dylan, because he said, okay, I bounced off the wall. How much damage is on my truck? I didn't get a caution, so I'm feeling my truck out, right, Dylan? I'm looking. There's a little sheet metal damage on the left front. I just spotted that a moment ago. I'm looking. Is my valence damaged? Is the rear end of the truck? Has it got any bump or any type of smudge? Am I okay? And then if you feel like you're comfortable, you hang back and then you go after it again. And when we approach lap 100, under 50 to go, I think that's exactly what he's going to do here.
Yeah, I could definitely see him doing that as he backed out of it. He's going to start saving just a little bit, see what he can do. He was battling right then and there when he needed to, trying to get that race lead away from Brad Newman, just not able to do so as it sits right there. But a little bit of contact between the 08 and the 342. Zach Sears down on the inside with Lachlan Capel. And right behind them, watching all of this, is going to be Josh Midmore. He's going to look down to the inside of that 342. He's going to try to make the move and get that position away from Zach Sears, but not able to do so as Zach rolling the outside, going to be able to get clear of Josh Mickelmore one more time.
There's a look at your championship top 5 and where they are. Olgenzak P4, Newman P2, Rankin P6, Lawford 7th, Mickelmore 11th. So Newman right now second in the point standings, second on the racetrack. Could it come down to the end tonight? Or will we set ourselves up for a barn burner for the title at Michigan next week? Remember, Atlanta for the finale for the X Series. Champions already decided. Dave-O's won that one. Now Dave-O trying to sweep the deal, if you will. Change to what Brad Newman did last year. But Brad Newman says, no, buddy, this is my house. To be the man, you got to beat the man. And to beat the man, you got to go through me. Brad Newman won his first race of the season in the trucks last week in a dandy one we'll never forget. My God, what a race that was, Dylan.
Oh, yeah, that was actually a great race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We had 3 wide action. My bad. Charlotte, sorry.
Yeah.
So...
we were treated to an amazing race. No, I'm not cutting you off. I'm just saying we were treated to an absolutely amazing race. And as I said, hell, man, in my opinion, it's probably one of the top 5 best iRacing broadcasts I've ever done. And what a race it was. But it has opened the door now because of Newman winning the championship at Charlotte to put himself now in a position where he can battle Dave-O. Dave-O's already won the X Series championship on Tuesday night. All he's got to do is race and win next week. Just focus on that. He's trying to do the same thing here tonight with his truck.
Yeah, he's trying to do everything he possibly can to get himself up there and to get the race win. But so far, I mean, he had a little bit of a miscommunication, got up on the outside wall. And now he's kind of waiting to put those pit road adjustments in. As Aaron Borg going to go side by side with David Lawler, or Angus Lawford, as it sits right now. Still, side by side, Angus has the outside lane to himself. And then right in front of them, they got Scott Rankin of that number 59, kind of playing runaway bride, as you will, trying to keep himself up there in the top 6.
Lawford battles alongside, contact, there we go. Trent Lavelle around, caution out, under 50 laps to go, 67 in the fence, and the caution will come out at lap number 104.
So I think
it's in the corner, though.
Caution.
It's in the corner. That contact is what, even though it was a little tap, that contact was in the corner. Just watch this right here, going down into the turn. And that's what caused the 67 to go around, because you're already in the diamond of the corner. And that's easily what would have happened. Would have been no spin on the straightaway, Dylan, because it happened in the corner. That's why the 67 goes around. Caution out.
Yeah, you know, this actually benefits Dave-O. He's going to go into pit lane, use a set of tires, fill the fuel. They're not going to be able to make it on fuel as it sits right now with how many laps they have left to go in this final stage, but he can go down into pit lane, use the time to fix that truck the way that it needs to be fixed. That way he's got no damage on the right front fender of the 311. So that timely caution actually helps him out as best as he possibly can as get ready to come back down to 43 laps to go as pit road is going to be open this time by. And everybody going to follow suit. So pit road is definitely going to be a busy, busy place here at Nashville.
Money stop as well, Dylan. This could be the money stop of the race. Guys are on pit road, as we mentioned. By the way, pit stops presented by CT Electrical. And everybody coming down pit road, 4 tires and fuel, I'm thinking, buddy. Get some of that new Sunoco ethanol 85 based fuel. Put on 4 new freshies, as our buddy, even my friend Jacob Reeves always calls them, 4 new Goodyear radials, and get back out there. Nope. Nope. Massey beat him out. Massey beat them all out.
Ooh.
And Davo beat out Newman. So that is in favor of Newman, but Stephen Massey beat them all out.
Now all Davo's really got to do is time this restart as best as he possibly can to keep that second position. Because, I mean, with it being Nashville Superspeedway and the concrete track, you know, I've said it earlier in this broadcast, Wesley, passing is kind of non-existent. It's so hard to keep your track position once you lose it, and then you try to get it back. It's really hard to get around the other drivers. So trying to get yourself into a position to where you can get that track position, you're going to have to make those moves as best you possibly can. As the 136 David Lawler going to go ahead and get the free pass on the field, as Trent Lavelle and the other truck going to go ahead and go back around the pace truck, get back up to the field. But Stephen Massey down to the inside, Davo on the outside. That's going to be your front row. Brad Newman and Logan Kais in a fourth. In third, Aaron Borg in fifth. Sixth is going to be Connor Nixon. Seventh and eighth is going to be Capel and Lawford. And then rounding out your top 10 is going to be Zach Sears and Josh Micklemore.
There you go. As the field gets ready to come back to Green Championship top 5. There they are now. Davo, P2 and second. He's the top man. The points, we got to keep up with that because, as we mentioned, you know, here's the deal. Brad Newman won the stages, yes, but Davo was right there in his crosshair. So is really 1 point more than the other that important? Every point matters. Every position matters. But Davo is just trying to find a way to tighten the noose, to hold on to that stranglehold lead he's got for the title. And right now, Davo, I think he knows it's go time. And Brad Newman's in trouble. He is free-falling like lyrics to the Tom Petty song. He lost ground in one. And Davo knows it, and he's in second.
Yeah, Brad Newman didn't have a good turns in 1 and 2. Caught the apron a lot, and then coming off of turns number 1 and 2, he got loose. A lot of loose. As Davo recognizes that, he's going to go ahead and take over that second position. But Brad Newman is not going to quit. He's going to fight tooth and nail to get up there. He's going to get Connor Nixon loose. He's going to be able to take that position over, move himself up there. What does Connor Nixon do? He's going to be right over the back bumper of the number 1 machine. Give him a nice little shove through the corner, going to help catapult him up towards the front. But now he's got some time going as Zach Sears has a black flag at the number 342. Not sure what happened to the 342, but black flag's going to be having to get served for Zach Sears.
Laps to go. Just shy of 30 miles remaining across the stripe. That's now Massey in the lead. There's Zach Sears. Started 7th, currently inconsistent tonight. There's Nick. Connor Nixon. Does he give a bump to the one of Newman?
Yeah, this is not what Brad Newman really wants to see. He wanted to get the race win here tonight.
Understanding Zachary Steers got a black flag. He's got to come down pit road.
Within a lap or two. Otherwise, he's going to be parked for the rest of the race. So
yeah.
Definitely got to get yourself down on that inside and get yourself into that pit road. But with the way that the race is going now, that is something that Brad Newman didn't want to have happen. Him get loose, hit the apron in turns number 1 and 2. He's put himself back there in 5th position. Davo currently sitting 2nd. As we get a CT electrical, we can see what happened to Scott Rankin and Aaron Dorman. through turns number 1 and 2. Scott Rankin behind Aaron Dorman. Aaron Dorman, a little bit loose.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh,
And they threw the caution maybe a little prematurely. Unless we got an accident somewhere else, and I think that's what we've got. Whoever's in 32nd, that's Ross Armour, and he is putting us under yellow flag. There it is, Chevrolet number 2. So you saw that what happened between Rankin and the other truck, but there's Armour. Woo! Uh-oh. Yeah, oh yeah, oh hell yeah, there you go. A couple of trucks involved before. Well, that explains maybe what happened with those trucks up ahead that we were watching whenever they dove into the grass. Maybe they were trying to miss him. Watch this again. Yeah. Better leave my Spiggy alone. Oh wow. Bang bang.
Don't know where to go.
Bang bang. We stopped doing legend. Bam 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 bam. Elder's truck around, and there's the damage on the number 2. No, I don't think unless you got tires, maybe, but I don't see no reason to pit. Think you, Dylan?
I don't
What do
see
you
a
think?
reason to pit for tires. Maybe fuel, but tires, no. If you have a set of tires in your back
Yeah.
pocket, save them, just in case if you have like a 10 to 12 lap run to the finish. Then yes, obviously.
Yeah, I don't see no reason. I just don't see no reason to pit. I really don't.
Yeah, no. I mean, they can make it on fuel as it sits right now. They're sitting there. They're saving fuel, keeping it in 4th gear,
Yeah,
clutching.
but the question is
truck
tires.
off,
The
doing
question
what
is
they need to
tires.
do. Oh yeah,
Because
that's
they're on concrete too. Remember that. That's another thing to think about.
yeah, that's definitely going to be the kicker there. Is
But I'm like you. I'm like you, Dylan. I really believe when they came down pit road a moment ago with under 40 to go, their bed was made. They're committed. Now, if we get a late race caution, maybe they're going to come down pit road, but I just don't think it's too early. It's still too much time left in the race after you just pitted less than 10 laps ago to come back down to pit road again. I just don't see it.
yeah.
I don't see it. And we saw in the X Series race, Dylan, on Tuesday night, that if there's a late race caution and you come down to pit road, remember, Dean, we saw this with Nigel, that you just do not get enough time to get your car up to speed. The tires, they just didn't have enough time. The ones that came down pit road shot themselves in the foot. They were not able to make a rally.
So that's definitely something to keep in the back of our memory bank if that does end up happening. So with it being like that, we would have to at least see 10, 15 lap run for these trucks to get back up to speed, get the tire temps where they need to be. If it's 10 or less, I wouldn't even, well, no, not 10 or less. I'd say maybe 5, 6 laps to go. I'm staying out because
we're not going green.
when you're the leader, you're going to
They
be
went off the restart.
waved off the restart. Uh-oh. So going to give these drivers another lap of fuel to save just in case. But if you're out there watching and you want to see more of what a Highline HQ has to offer, make sure you guys hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you guys hit all bell notifications so you guys don't miss anything that Highline HQ has to offer for myself, Wesley Outland, Nigel on Tuesday nights and on Thursday nights.
Yeah.
And obviously, everybody wants to come to Thursday nights because they get to see the bald man say, take care, brush your hair. It doesn't make any sense, but it works because I got Dean saying it a lot. I got Wesley saying a lot. It just happens. It just ends up
You're
happening. that
bald.
way.
I have hair. You're bald. Imagine you being out in the sun yesterday with the sun bearing on your head.
Hey, look.
Boy, you would have been
Last
like
year-
this. You would have been like, man, Mr. Clean on fire,
Last year I did that after golfing, and I forgot to take my hat with me. Ooh, the sunburn was
That's how
crazy.
I felt. That's how I felt. Me and my friend Brian, we done a baseball game yesterday. That damn thing lasted 3.5 hours in the sun. It was like 90 degrees in Raleigh. And literally, I'm like, okay, it's nice, it's a beautiful day, but then, you sit there in that sun for about 2 hours in, and you're like, oh my God, my head is on fire, because the sun's just bearing right down on your head, And I kicked myself. Maybe I should have put on some, I did wear shorts. As Dean saw that I wore shorts, but it didn't do no good. Head's red, arms are red, not legs. It's
definitely.
what are we missing here? How come the top of my body's red but not the bottom? We'll get ready to go back for a restart, by the way, everybody. We're closing in on 30 laps to go. By the way, championship finales in the Chase and the season 1. Next week, Atlanta for X Series truck will be in Michigan. And we are back to green, buddy. Closing in on the finish here.
Yeah, this is definitely what a lot of those drivers wanted to see, get themselves wrapped back up. Brad Newman definitely wanted to see that caution, get himself in a position where he can make this type of move right here with a quick yellow right back off as Gary Wellman goes off the track.
Yeah, Gary Wellman off course. There's the 45 machine. So the yellow will come out. There it is. Quiet night for Wellman until now. And another yellow flag here. 32 to go. Here's a replay.
Oh, Riley Curtis. Oh, Trellavelle. No!
Oh, wow.
Or CT Electrical Bathurst.
He has anger.
Push, push, pokes, pokes. Ooh, Aaron. Oh, 4 wide.
Another look at it again.
He sees it. He's slowing down. Slowing down. Gary Wellman. He might be. It'll buff out. Yeah, Kute Dow won the pole.
All them damn boring-ass Formula One cars at Monaco. Free Formula One. The boring race. And you'd be surprised how many people were like, they thought Monaco was going to be for Formula One on Memorial. I'm like, guys, look at the schedule. They're in Canada. Boy, did that mess up everything for the month of May. Day of Speed, huh? Because normally it's Formula One at Monaco, the Indy 500, and then the Coke 600. This year it was Truck Series race on a Sunday morning, the Indy 500, Formula One if you choose to watch it in Canada, and then the NASCAR Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte. So yeah. I will say though that the Formula One race at Circuit Jacques Villeneuve was better than Monaco any day, just being honest. I think there's just a history there for Formula One being at Monaco, and that's why they don't want to get rid of that race. They don't want to let it go. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a party. It's a fun time. It's a blasty blast. I'm moving to Monaco, Dylan. We're moving to Monaco. Tax-free heaven.
Hey, no I'm with it.
No more taxes.
I'm with it.
If I will say this, by the way, I mean, I don't normally get into politics on broadcast or anything, religion, politics, but I will say I did see where Donald Trump is like trying to attack the IRS for about the way they treat American people. I hope they fix it. I hope they do. I mean, the most crooked people, I'm just saying, the most crooked people in the world are government people. So let's just be honest. I mean, if you can find a way to bypass and weasel the government, I don't see anything wrong with it because they do to screw us. All right, let's get ready to go back to green. under 30 to go. As Massey in the 97, he's got a throwback truck for Kyle Busch, brings them back underway. And Dylan Massey's truck, man, I'm going to be honest with you, he could be a contender to win. He really could.
You know, once Massey got that race lead from Brad Newman, he kind of checked out a little bit. He pulled away from Brad Newman. He pulled away from Dave-O. He pulled away from the entire field. That was something that we didn't see any other driver do. Brad Newman kind of pulled away just a little bit, but he didn't put a gap on the field, kind of like Stephen Massey did once he got that clean air. And that's something that I was talking about. The track position, the clean air, is going to be your major friend here. Same with next week. Clean air is going to be your friend at Michigan. We're not going to see the spread outness that we're going to be able to see here tonight, but still, Angus Lawford currently sitting in 8th. He's up 2 positions from where he started. He's trying to keep that number 52 in the top 10 as it sits right now. He's running high, wide, and handsome. But up front, it's all Stephen Massey. Stephen Massey with Dave-O in a second. Third is going to be Logan Kais. Fourth is going to be Brad Newman. And rounding out your top 5 is going to be another playoff driver with Aaron Borg currently sitting in that 5th position. All a single file for the top 7. And then we get to our 2-wide battles as Angus Lawford try to make another look under the number 018, but not able to get there. Now he's looking up to the outside.
25 laps to go.
If you got anything in your tank, I think right now possibly would be the time to kind of push a little bit. Maybe wait till you get down to maybe 10, 15 laps to go, then try to make your push down up to the front. But Aaron Borg helping Brad Newman out with a little bit of a push down the back straight. Going to be up on his back bumper coming to the line.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Dave-O. Oh, another caution.
Oh, caution out. As Nick Ryan goes around to the 70, Hendrick Carr's machine, caution out. There you go. By the way, that's a throwback to Kyle Busch when he was driving for Hendrick, and he made a Busch series start back in the day driving for them. Look at this. Look at that truck. Watch this. Is that Lawler? I think so.
Oh, Kute Dow.
Wow. How the body of Paul and Dylan. At one time, Kute Dow was up in the front.
Oh. I wonder if he got nervous?
From another angle. Watch the 70. Yeah, that's Ryan. Oh boy. Bouncing off one another.
So definitely not what Nick Ryan wanted to see, putting himself facing the opposite way than what he wanted to. But pit road is going to be a busy place. Keith Hackney, David Lawler, Angus Lawford. Angus Lawford down in the pit lane. Josh Micklemore in the pit lane. I think these drivers have a set of tires. They're going to use them now. Scott Rankin in. If this goes green, we might have a whole shakeup for the rest of this race.
Yeah, for sure.
So if I'm the drivers up towards the front, you better hope that, they don't get up to speed and make all these passes and it goes green. You want to hurry up, get that caution, get the tires that if you have them, go down into pit lane, get those tires, and come back out, put those pit road adjustments in, fill it full of fuel, and to see what it'll do. So a lot can happen with 20, about to be 20 laps to go.
Massey, Oljanzak, Kais, some of the drivers that have pitted. As Massey, man, this is the guy that I don't think even Oljanzak or Newman were thinking could come in and spoil the party, but he is Logan Kais. Logan Kais has got a good truck, man. He's been right there in the hunt as well, like just being patient and be ready to go back to it again here. By the way, if you didn't know, Dave Oljanzak is from Charleston, South Carolina. He was the X Series champion also. He is trying to do what he needs to do to try to sweep, if you will, what Brad Newman did last year in winning the X Series and the trucks. I mean, we're seeing cautions breeding cautions now. I can tell you that much. The 10th caution now. And what has this been? The 4th yellow in the last 20 laps, I think, Dylan. These trucks onto the pit lane. We're closing in. 20 to go. This thing ain't over yet. Ready to settle it here at Nashville.
Yeah, get ready to settle it here. Going to be 20 laps to go.
Green flag, green flag.
Stephen Massey leading them back to the green flag. Davo getting a good jump on that outside. He's going to be able to get clear as well. Single file for the top two. Brad Newman going to be side by side with Logan Kais. Not able to get the run or the pass done on the number 343. He's going to slot back in line. He's going to be in the 4th position. He's trying to use that draft to his advantage. He's going to get to his outside. He backs out of it. Still going to be there as another yellow flag. Angus Lawford. Oh, Scott Rankin goes around.
Cautions breed cautions.
Mm-mm. You're going to see CT electrical replay.
Here we go.
Too wide. You're going to see what happened to Scott Rankin. He's up there on the outside. Oh, it happened in front of him. Oh. Mm. Oh, they're 3 wide.
Oh, yeah, watch this.
Oh, there's... Oh, he tags Keith. Ruh-roh.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I think maybe Brian Blundell there, Wesley, thought that he was completely clear, so he went down to the inside lane where he needed to be for the corner and didn't realize Keith Hagney still had a nose down on his inside. Ended up clipping the front nose of Keith Hagney, sending him on around, collecting Scott Rankin in tow. So, not what Scott Rankin wanted to see, especially taking those fresh tires. You just kind of ruined those tires with that spin, especially with all the damage that you ended up collecting, getting put on the outside wall.
Stephen Massey up in the front now as Dave-O right there alongside. They'll get ready to come to the 1 to go indication this time by. Should be. Sim time, it is 18 minutes with 16 laps to go when they come back to green. So I think they're going to be all right if they can, stop crashing, I guess. Nice way of saying it. I don't know. Part of me thinks I need to make these races on a 2-hour time limit. I think that extra 5 minutes, they would just give that extra 5 minutes instead of an hour and 55 minutes. I wonder if that would be enough to try to go the distance. But yeah, I don't like. I'm not a fan of time races either. I mean, if it's an endurance race, it's an endurance race, right? And we know that. And we know that's what it's set up to be. But all right. Massey, Olchinsack right there alongside Dave-O doing exactly what he needs to do. Logan Kais, Brad Newman. Newman is right behind Dave-O in row 2, inside or the outside lane. Here we go. First 2 rows coming back to the restart zone,
Green
Dylan.
flag, green flag.
And they will come back to green. They're in the gas. 16 to go here at Nashville.
Yeah, Dave-O did not get a good jump that time by. He's going to be side by side with the 343, but Brad Newman not able to get down to the inside of Dave-O. Dave-O's a little bit loose on that outside. Here goes Brad Newman down to the inside. He's going to try to make a way around Dave-O into turns number 3 and 4, but now Dave-O is on the better position. Oh, Aaron Bohr goes around. Caution flag is going to wave once again. Jason Holdsworth is going to be involved. And man, oh man, here we go. Cautions breed cautions. I think now, Wesley, with all these cautions that they're bringing out, I don't think these front runners want to pit because they don't want to be back there with all that mess.
Yeah, watch this again. My goodness, wow.
Jason Holdsworth had it missed. He was slowing down. It's just the drivers behind him ended up tagging him and spinning him on around. So Jason Holdsworth's got some rear end damage.
Late race caution. Watch this again, another replay. Watch it one more time. Oh, boy. Around. Into the wall. There you go. That's what happened. That's what happens, man. That's what happens. Stem motion, both trucks involved in that accident, Dylan. Well, now, do you come down pit road now, Dylan? I would say the answer is no.
Yeah,
Notice
no.
Everybody that still stayed on pit road, the top 10. Last time they pitted, lap 106.
Scott Reagan. Scott Reagan makes sure
It's the course
misses
after
that
he gets
extra.
crashed. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Wesley, I'm not taking that chance of going down into pit lane, coming out behind everybody else, and getting it. Like, let's say I'm Dave-O or Brad Newman. Now you have to live with, okay, there's cautions now. This is really becoming a caution fest towards the end of this race. If it happens near me, there's a possibility that I'm going to be involved, and I don't want no part of it. So, you know what? I made my bed. I'm going to lie in it, and I'm going to stay right where I'm at. Because track position, as of right now, we're coming to 10 to go next time by. I'm staying out. in air.
You're stupid. Oh, well. Yep. Ready to go back to green with Massey, Kais, Olgenzak, Newman, Rankin, top 5, Nixon, top 5. Try this again.
Guys and Stephen Massey going to bring these drivers back to the green flag.
Green
Dave
flag,
O
green
down
flag.
in third, Brad Newman in fourth. There we go. We're off to the races, inside line, getting a really good restart. Dave O going to be able to get there, but here comes Brad Newman. He got to the inside of Logan Kais. He's going to make himself a part of this three-wide battle for the race lead as Stephen Massey leads him off turn number 1 and 2.
Yellow flag is out.
And another caution.
And another damn caution. Come on, guys. What in the world? Are you getting the funny papers now? Come on.
The taco truck.
Well, I was worried about now sim time. I wasn't worried that much about sim time, but I am now, guys. We're under 12 minutes left.
Aaron Dorman.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. Now I'm starting to yawn.
Confucius will say, cautions bring more cautions.
Mr. Miyagi needs to have a
Very
talk with
good.
these guys.
So Zach Sears getting in the back of Aaron Dorman. He's going to send him down into Shane Bowen. And you know what? The 017 was just an innocent bystander. Nobody behind him ended up checking up and giving him the room to miss it. And then you got the 57 pulling a Kyle Busch, driving backwards or in reverse. He must have got tired of having the Vegemite stops rail all over the back bumper of that truck. Hello. Goodbye. Farewell. Kelvin Clark. And then he does a little bit of a Rockford. Gets it back going straight and clicks it into gear and somebody missed their pit box. As everybody back down into pit lane, you can see all the trucks down there getting the service. Whatever damage they had.
And you know what, guys? As all this continues to happen, Massey, all he's got to do is just stay out in front. Green caution, green caution, green caution.
Yeah, I mean, so as it sits right now, Brad Newman's best bet is to get a really good restart, time it perfectly, get all over the back bumper of
What the hell is the
Stephen
pace
Massey.
truck doing? What? All right, we're going to get the one to go indication. I didn't know what the world the pace truck was like below the apron of the racetrack, but I thought something happened to him. He might have ran out of fuel himself there, Dylan.
Hey, you know what? They gotta save their tire too. They're trying every single way that they can to save a little bit of tire in that pace truck. Gas lights get a little bit thin on the pace truck as well, so hopefully this will be the final restart. Time is ticking to end this race under regulation. One or two more cautions and this race will end. So definitely got to get these drivers how they were in stage number 2. You see the two long green flag runs. They got to stay in that position. Pace truck, take another hard left. Stephen Massey, Dave-O, Brad Newman, Logan Kais. Leading
flag,
back to
green
the green
flag.
flag, Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. We are back to racing. Stephen Massey. Oh, Newman and Dave-O get together.
Well, that would do it.
Time's wasting.
Yellow,
Brad Newman, really? Oh.
Crash out again as there's caution errant board. So the yellow flag is out, guys, and we are down to 7 laps to go with 8 minutes remaining. Man, oh man. You know, and this is what's so frustrating. Actually, a really good race tonight at Nashville until the end here. I don't know what's going on. Like, I mean, oh boy. Another caution, by the way. Well, I think we've had, what, 8, 9 cautions in the last 40 laps. Am I right? I mean, seriously, Dylan, like under 40 to go. It's been a wreck fest.
Yeah, definitely not what they want to see. I mean, right there.
I think it were
14.
6 cautions at the end of stage 2. 6 cautions. So there it is.
Yeah, 14 cautions for 42 laps as it sits right now. 2 lead
Well,
changes.
not 19, 14. Yeah, don't make it more than what it is. My goodness.
No. I said 14 for 42.
No, you said 19.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Numbers are hard.
Yeah, we 14 cautions for 42 laps. My goodness, that's just a... And all the while, Massey is just, hey, man, just keep me out front. I'm doing my thing, you know. I'm not using tires. I'm saving fuel. Because believe it or not, guys, they're saving fuel. Nobody's in, like, fuel, you know, concerns or anything now. And honestly, Dylan, they keep running under caution. They could go in overtime. Somebody said it feels like 19. No, it's not. It feels like 19, but it's not. It's only 14.
As we get ready to go back, green flag racing this time by Dave-O in second position, your championship leader. Brad Newman in third, sitting second in the championship. Stephen Massey, though, has the control of the race. It's pretty much a two-horse race here, Wesley, between the top 3, with Dave-O and Brad Newman. Rankin, Lawford, and Micklemore potentially completely out of it. Rankin back in 23rd, Micklemore in 13th, and then all the way back in 31st. And, yeah, definitely going to come down to these two, Brad Newman and Dave-O. But here we go.
This could be the final restart of the race, Dylan, right here. If we get another yellow flag, this could possibly do us in. 4 minutes left on the clock with 4 left to go. Massey, great jump, launch on the restart. Dave-O, and guess who's right behind him? Newman, top 3, single file, as well in the back. Nixon goes first down the line, bumping off a Hackney, and then we got trouble again. Caution out. Lundell spins another Solo single truck spin. See, now if I'm race director Dylan, I'm not throwing these damn cautions. Single truck spins, you got enough time, you can get back going in the gas and get going on your own. Oh, wow. That's Trent Lavelle, Angus Lawford, and Blundell, man. Oh, wow. Guys, this might have done it, Dylan. Dylan, I'm not going to lie to you, this might have done it. They got 3 minutes left with 3 to go. They've got to hustle. That's all I can say.
So is it Aaron Borg?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow. There it is. Dylan, they might have one more shot at it, maybe. I'm just being honest, and that is if they come back around this time by and they take the one to go. They're at least going to get one more chance at a restart here.
Well, hopefully that's the case. They can get the one to go, get these drivers back to green flag conditions and end this under regulation. But with it being a green-white checkered, I don't know. Hopefully we get to see what we saw in stage number 2 with a fight to the finish. I was going to say a long green flag run, but
yeah, it ain't going to happen, brother. I'm sorry. Clock's under 2 minutes remaining, and there's 2 laps to go. And they're still going. They're going to come to the line here, and they're going to get the one to go. My goodness, man. They are. They're playing with house money. And, I mean, it's going to be tight. That's all I can tell you. One to go. Lights off. Pace truck. Yes. Okay, so we're going to get at least one chance at an overtime here, unless the clock expires. They better be in about 1 minute and 10 seconds back at start finish to green, because we've got 1 minute and 10 seconds left before the clock expires. They're going to get one shot at this for an overtime, Dylan. Caution comes out, it's over.
How desperate, if this goes, how desperate is Brad Newman or Dave O going to be?
I mean, I think somebody's going to do something stupid. I mean, I don't want to call my shot or call it, but I mean, we've already seen it. These guys, it's just the last, 40, 50 laps of this race has just been a wreck fest. It's not been the front leaders. It's been guys in the back, the guys that are panicking. But now, watch the front, guys. This is where it's going to get crazy right here. And you know what? You can't blame them, because this is the outcome to determine the finish of the race. Clock expires with 25 seconds. Here they come back to green. They're going to get a shot at it. They're going to get 2 laps. Here we go, Dylan. It's overtime here at Nashville.
Stephen Massey going to lead these drivers back to the green flag.
Green.
Green flag is out for the final time here tonight. Dave-O gets a really good jump. He's going to cover off Brad Newman down on that inside.
Clock's expired.
And here we go. Is this the final lap?
Massey back straight away into turn number 3. I think they're going to give him a chance to try to finish this. We're crashing in the back, though. We stay green. No caution yet. Here they come. They got to get the white flag this time by. Massey, white flag. 1 to go. No, it's over. Race is over, guys. They just threw the checker. It's done. And Stephen Massey's going to hold off Dave-O and Brad Newman. This race is over, Dylan. The clock expired. They didn't even give him a chance for a green-white checker. The white flag was the checkered flag. And Stephen Massey is going to meet the championship contenders here in Nashville.
Yeah, Stephen Massey able to keep himself up there in the race lead. gets the race win here tonight. Dave O finishes second with Brad Newman running out your top three as time expired on the clock. But Stephen Massey going to come around in that Ford F-150, burn it down here in Music City to get that first win off his back. In that Kyle Busch throwback scheme. As here we go, is our race winner here at Nashville Superspeedway. Gets his first win of the season, first start, I do believe, this season as well. So he's 1 for 1 as it comes all the way through. As Stephen Massey collects his first win, holds off Dave O and Brad Newman for the race win. Going to go ahead and bring up our unofficial results. As we look here, it's Stephen Massey with the race win, Dave O in second, Brad Newman in third. David Lawler with the hard charger up 22 positions. Most laps led is going to be Brad Newman with 76. Fastest lap is going to be Dave O. Pole position is going to be Kute Dow. Top 10 as it sits right now is going to be Stephen Massey, Dave O, Brad Newman, your top three, with Connor Nixon in fourth. Fifth is going to be Lachlan Capel. Sixth, Logan Kais. Seventh, Kute Dow, Zach Sears in eighth, Jason Newman in ninth, and rounding out your top 10 is going to be Josh Micklemore.
Davis will finish in 11th, David Lawler 12th, followed by the machine of Brad Wright, Gary Wellman. All these guys had problems at one time or another earlier in the race. Then it's going to be Nick Ryan, top 15, Rylan Curtis, Scott Rankin, Shane Bowen, Chris Bleakley, and Adam Gray, your top 20.
21st is going to be Aaron Dorman. 22nd is going to be Kelvin Clark. 23rd, Timo Blundell. 24th, Ryan Barber. 25th, Jack White. Ross Armour in 26th. 27th, Keith Hackney. 29th, Stephen Banks. 28th, Stephen Banks. 29th, Aaron Borgen running at your top 30 is going to be Trent Lavelle.
Yeah, Lawford, Blundell, Barber, Holdsworth, Green, and Mialo. That's the way they finish. We're not wasting no time, everybody. We're going to have a very fast post-race shirt because I'm sure that you're aggravated. So are we. We're going to have top three interviews very quickly, and we're going to go right into that right now. We're not even taking a break, Dylan.
Yeah, going to go ahead and bring in our top three into the broadcast booth as we get them moved up.
Yeah, we having trouble bringing them in, guys. Hang on.
So as we're joined in here with our top three, going to go ahead and start with our race winner. That's going to be Stephen Massey in the number 97. Stephen, you battled adversity. You got up there towards the front. You stayed behind Brad Newman for the most part of the race. But once you got the race lead, you kind of didn't look back. And then cautions bred cautions, and you were able to come home with a race win.
Yeah, I hated to see the cautions there at the end. I always like to race it out with everyone up front, especially Brad, who kind of dominated there the whole first half of the race, and then Dave was right there with Brad. But a win's a win, and I guess we'll take it.
I mean, Massey, I was going to say the same thing, dude, right? I mean, it just seemed like it was such a great race. The racing you guys were doing up in the front was phenomenal. And then there is the cautions, breeding cautions, maybe ridiculous cautions, single truck cautions that shouldn't throw a yellow, but it did. And it takes the whole momentum away of the race, doesn't it?
Oh, completely. I mean, it takes the entire momentum away, and then everyone starts pushing hard because you're running out of laps because there keeps being cautions. And then that just, like I said, cautions breed cautions.
Well, Mr. Massey, if there's anybody on that number 97 you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is now yours.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to Johnny for the setup, Nitro Team, CT Electrical for sponsoring the series and everything, and then you guys up in the broadcast booth, and then the guys that keep it clean and don't bring out cautions. Shout out to those guys.
All right, that's going to be our race winner of Stephen Massey getting the win here tonight. Going to go ahead and move on over to our second place finisher. That's going to be Dave O in the number 311. Dave O, you stayed up front where you needed to be. You stayed right behind Brad Newman, right on his coattails. You had a little bit of an incident getting up the outside wall. Not much damage on that 311, but what more did you need to try and get around that number 97 to get your next win knocked off your bucket list?
Well, I'll tell you, I needed to win the race off pit road on lap 106 when we pit. Do that with all the cautions we had at the end, it would have been, I think, pretty easy. We only ran 5 green flag laps in a row, maybe max. It was bad. First half was great though. Battling with Brad, trying to keep up with him. Dirty air here is big, but I feel like I had it kind of tuned up there that last run before that lap 100-ish caution. Yeah, I mean, good first half.
So, Dave-O, I got to say this, man. Brad Newman was not going away. He did what he needed to do to win stages, but you still were within striking distance of him. Do you feel like that this is going to be a classic going into Michigan next week to lock the title to decide who wins it?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a lock. It's definitely, we still got to race it out. What was it last week? I think he gained 39 or 40 points on me, and I think the lead will be 39. If the math is right in my head, I'd have to double check, but I mean, he has a chance. He's not out of it, so look forward to battling with him at Michigan for that.
Yeah, definitely can't wait to see what the 311 and the 1 have to offer next week at Michigan. But Dave, before we let you get on out of here and celebrate that second place finish, if there's anybody on that truck you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is now yours.
Yeah, Nitro Racing and Johnny Taylor for the setups. Modsquad.info, HeFounder.net, BMK Logistics, CT Electrical for sponsoring the series, and you admins and commentators for running it.
Right, that's going to be your second place finisher of Dave-O. Going to go ahead and move on over to our third place finisher. That's going to be Bad Brad Newman and the number 1 Lobs Esports entry. Brad, you were there. You led the majority of the race. You won both stages. You kept your truck as clean as you could. You had the clean air, and then you lost it to Stephen Massey. What was it your point to try to get that clean air back, or were you just kind of along for the ride once he got around you?
Thanks, mate. Yeah, the clean air was good here, so I was always trying to go for it. But it was a lot of fun racing with those guys. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Brad, this thing ain't over. Obviously, the confidence to try to, defend your truck crown the last time you were champion. What's it going to take care of this at Michigan next week, bud?
Probably a win. And for something pretty unlucky to happen to Dave. It's not over, but obviously it's going to be pretty hard. It'd be good if we could have some laps to race instead of having to keep stopping for the world champ.
Night at Nashville.
Not per se happy with tonight's race, man. I just got to say that. Taking all the momentum of what we had as a phenomenal race last Thursday night, and what a show it put on at Charlotte. These guys come here tonight, and I was thinking we were going to kind of see some of the outcome, and it wasn't that way. But you know what, though, Dylan? It's not the front runners. It's the guys that are in the back. There's got to be something done with throwing single truck cautions, especially when you can get your ass back on the gas and pull away and take off. Some of these yellow flags, I really feel, and I say this as just a fan and as broadcaster, not the league in general. It took the momentum away from this race. It took the battle of what we could have seen between the front runners away. I'm sorry if it upsets anybody, but I was disappointed with the outcome of the way the race turned out. But in the end, Stephen Massey did what he needed to do. He rolled the dice, hit it when everybody else did. Under 50 to go, it was a wreck fest. He stayed in the front, never looked back. I mean, pretty much it was like the race was handed to him, Dylan, on a silver platter. Hopefully, we can turn this thing around and have a phenomenal finish with the trucks at Michigan next Thursday night. And I promise you, this race is far from over for the championship. I just hope that these single truck cautions, absolutely ridiculous, can come to an end and we can see these guys fight it out racing-wise for the championship.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something to watch next week, especially with Michigan. High horsepower all the way around the track, top, middle, and high lane being used at Michigan. But we're going to see that next week on Thursday night. Make sure you guys tune in next Tuesday night for the X Series championship race at the old Atlanta Motor Speedway, not the new Echo Park plate track-esque type racing. It's the old one. Tires. Who's going to be the king of Harviking next week, and who's going to be the king of the high banks at Michigan on Thursday night? That and more on Highline HQ. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, turn on all bell notifications so you guys don't miss anything that Highline HQ has to offer. Want to give a big shout out to CT Electrical of Bathurst and Trent Lavelle for coming on board, sponsoring the entire series for the Truck Series on Thursday nights. But that's going to do it for myself and Wesley Outland in the broadcast booth with Dean Hopton in the production trailer, bringing you the beautiful pictures every single week of the racing as everybody is out there. But this is going to be mine and Wesley signing off. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.